Package delivery. Unfortunately, this is the signature. Love? Hello? I'm just gonna leave the package right here.
Don't you know it's rude to enter people's houses without being invited? Well, when you can't make something at home, there's always delivery. Ah, there you are, Lilith. Glad you could join me. Ah, and there you are, boys and ghouls. Welcome to another episode of Damian's Dreadfuls. As always, I am your ever-so-charming host, Lord Damian MacDonovan. You'll have to pardon the mess I made a little earlier. I haven't eaten in a few days, and 'tis the season. Poor Lilith here is getting on in years and can't spin webs like she used to, so I've ordered a few things to help us decorate for Halloween. So why don't we see what the now dead UDS delivery man has brought us, shall we? Alright, let's see what we've got here. Alright, we've got some traditional fake spider webs. Some more traditional fake spider webs. But this is what I really wanted. Alright, we've got one of those newfangled web spinner guns. No, I'm not planning on dressing up as Marvel's Spider-Man, but these fancy little things shoot melted hot glue and just make all kinds of spider webs everywhere. I've been dying to try one of these out. Oh, hello, what's this? Right, well, this is perfect. I didn't order this, but it makes sense today. I was planning on doing a riffing of Nosferatu as our special Halloween episode, but with the passing of Sid Haig recently, I wanted to do one of his films instead. And here we have, in this package, Spider Baby. I guess that makes sense for the rest of this package. Was kind of a theme going on here. Spider Baby is a 1967 movie about the Myers family. I'm sorry, the Marys family. Wrong Halloween. The Marys family, yes, the Marys family, is a family of adults with a mental degenerative disorder known only to occur within their family line, who end up murdering several people. The biggest name in the film is Lon Chaney Jr., famous for being the son of Lon Chaney Sr., Universal's original Phantom of the Opera. But of course, Jr. is also one of Universal's other great original movie monsters himself, Lawrence Talbot, the original Wolfman. He, of course, went on to have a long and storied career in the horror industry, and boy does he act the hell out of this role. It's almost too good a performance for a movie like this. Let's see, also starring in the movie we have Quinn Redeker, Beverly Washburn, Jill Banner, Carol Omart, and Sid Haig, of course. The title of the movie is taken from the name of one of the characters. Jill Banners plays Virginia and is called Spider Baby because of her obsession with spiders. Duh. She likes to play spider and prey on other people and animals, stabbing them with knives and catching them in webs. She also eats a lot of bugs. Of course, this was not the original name for the movie. It underwent several changes, including the Liver Eaters, Attack of the Liver Eaters, Cannibal Orgy, and The Maddest Story Ever Told. That last one is often tacked on to the official title of the film, but both it and Cannibal Orgy are included in the lyrics to the movie's theme song, sung by Lon Chaney Jr. The director, Jack Hill, liked the title of The Maddest Story Ever Told primarily because there was another movie to be released called The Greatest Story Ever Told. I'm guessing it's another one of those Jesus movies, which could easily have been titled The Meh-est Story Told Every Couple of Years. This was Jack Hill's first feature work as a director, but the name Jack Hill should sound familiar to anyone who has watched previous episodes of Damien's Dreadfuls. He most notably has worked with Roger Corman doing pickup shots, and even adding extra footage to Corman movies in order to make them longer to fill up space on television. Such work has included the opening 20 minutes of The Wasp Woman, a previous Damien's Dreadfuls episode, although we didn't show that version, did we? Anyway, I've talked long enough about this movie for now. I'm going to get started decorating and let you check out the movie. Here on Damien's Dreadfuls is 1967's Spider Baby, or The Maddest Story Ever Told.
Dreams and moans and bats and bones and teenage monsters and haunted homes, a ghost on the stair, a vampire's bite. Better beware, there's a full moon tonight. Spiders creep and crawl, boys and ghouls having a ball. Frankenstein, Dracula, and even the mummy are sure to end up in somebody's tummy. Take a fresh rodent, some toadstools and weeds, and add an old owl and the young ones she breeds, mix in 7 legs from an 8-legged piece, and then you're all set for a cannibal feast. Sit round a fire with this cup of brew, a fiend and a werewolf on each side of you. This cannibal orgy is strange to behold, and the maddest story ever told.
Mary syndrome, so called because its only known occurrence is among the descendants of one Ebenezer Mary, a progressive age regression beginning about the 10th year and continuing steadily throughout the victim's lifetime. It is believed that eventually the victim of the Mary syndrome may even regress beyond the prenatal level, reverting to a pre-human condition of savagery and cannibalism. Many authorities do not accept the existence of the Mary syndrome. Incredible, but true. Nevertheless, I know only too well Of course, there's no Mary syndrome anymore. It was extinguished forever from the human race that fateful day 10 years ago.
Can you tell me where the Mary House is? I said the Mary House.
If there is any such place, we don't know anything about it. Come on, get...
Anybody home? Anybody home? Please say yes, somebody's home. Hello in there. Hello?
big fat bug right in my spider web. And now the spider gets to give the bug a big sting.
Virginia, are you crazy? Now look what you've done. You're bad. Bad. Bruno's going to hate you.
Virginia! Elizabeth! Virginia! Elizabeth! Elizabeth!
Bruno, Virginia hurt somebody real bad. You ought to hate her.
Elizabeth, how many times have I told you it's not nice to hate? Oh. One time I leave them alone. And now this. Elizabeth, I trusted you. I left you in charge.
It's not my fault. I didn't do it. She did it. She was playing spider. You should hate her.
No, I left you in charge. Virginia! Virginia, you come here right now.
Ralph!
What? Ralph, we're home now. Ralph, we're home now. Virginia, now you stay right there. You come and sit down. Sit down. You two are listening. Now, children, I want to tell you something, and I want you to listen very, very carefully. You remember last time when those two children climbed over the wall and Virginia almost caught them in her spider web? Mm-hmm. Well, that got people to wondering about us. And that's bad. Your daddy wouldn't like that, Virginia. Now, I can't be here all the time. You know that I have to take Ralph into the city to the doctor once in a while. And Virginia, you were supposed to mind your sister. You were not supposed to play spider anymore. Now, you never can play spider again. Oh, Ralph, what have you got there?
Something that man had.
Ralph, give it to me. That's it. Thank you, Ralph. Huh. This is from a lawyer. Yeah, a lawyer?
What is it, Bruno? Something bad, isn't it?
How many times do I have to tell you, just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad?
I knew that. It must be something very bad.
Nothing is very bad.
It isn't?
He's going to come here and bring other people.
Daddy wouldn't like that. What other people?
They want to become your legal guardians. As the only other known surviving heirs of the estate of Titus W. Mary.
Isn't that Daddy?
On the 14th of... Today's the 14th. Oh, now, children, we've got to keep some secrets today.
Want that for? Hurry up, I want to watch Uncle Nick. You're not supposed to. Hey! Look out!
I'm coming, Uncle Ned. I'm coming, Aunt Clara. Aunt Martha. I'm coming, Uncle Ned.
Really, Emily? I mean, I wish you'd kind of...
Peter, if you don't like my driving, you may feel free to take a trolley.
Now, wait just a minute. This was not my idea. I've never heard of the Mary family. What is that?
They're our cousins, darling. It behooves us to meet them.
All right. I mean, all right. But remember that it was not my idea, okay?
Of course not, darling. You don't have ideas, baby Peter, brother.
Welcome back, creeps, to Damien's Dreadfuls. You'll have to pardon me as I clean up the house before making another mess of it. While I appreciate all of the real spiders' hard work throughout the castle, they're not terribly organized. So unfortunately, I always have to sweep away all the real cobwebs in order to make room for the fake ones this time of year. Castle Donovan certainly does get a lot of them, but in a castle this old, that really goes without saying. The house used for tonight's movie actually has a bit of history behind it as well. The Spider Baby's exterior shots were all filmed at the historical Smith Estate in the Highland Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. It was built in 1887, and the street that it is on, El Mio, is actually named after what the family originally called the house. It has had some notable owners throughout the years and has actually been used as the set for several films. Most recently, it was seen and featured in Insidious, Chapter 2. The home's original owner, Judge David Patterson Hatch, is particularly notable not just because he built the house, but because of his extensive work in writing books on philosophy and the occult. Works including such titles as Scientific Occultism, The Blood of the Gods, and Textbook of Christian Hermit Philosophers. The set dressing also has some antiques, even belonging to the director himself. Later on, we'll see a rocking chair used to tie somebody up, which actually belonged to Jack Hill's grandmother. Unfortunately, it was destroyed during filming. Not everything was filmed at the house, though. A small stage with movable walls was actually built for the interior shots, and that stage became incredibly hot during their 12 days of filming from August into September. Lon Chaney had to be constantly wiped down before and after each shot with cold, damp towels because he was sweating so much. Nonetheless, he remained professional and amiable. Despite his friendly nature, though, Sid Haig was actually terrified of him and didn't even speak to him for the first 2 days of filming because he had no idea what to say to a big star like that. They actually had to send Sid Haig to get Chaney from his trailer one day, and when he referred to him as Mr. Chaney, Chaney yelled, "Stop that! I'm not Mr. Chaney, I'm Lon, you're Sid, let's leave it at that." I miss that man. I guess technically I miss both of them now. Well, I think I should finish clearing away these dusty old cobwebs so that we can make some room for new ones. I'll let you get back to the movie. I'll see you later, creeps.
What in the world makes you think this is the right road?
It's got to be. Ha! There, you see? So, this is it.
I don't see any sign of, what's his name? The lawyer.
Obviously, he hasn't arrived as yet. The caretaker here probably went to meet him in a horse and buggy. Might as well go on up.
They'll be along any minute. Why don't we,
What's the matter, Peter? Chicken?
Well, I just don't think it's, just right to go barging in on somebody that you're about to sue.
Oh, just remember, we're trying to avoid that expense, if possible.
Well, I'll leave that up to you. What happened? You saw a ghost, right?
Don't be funny. There was an awful a baboon.
Well, let's not have a complete double duck fit.
Mr. Schlocker, I think he means that you open the window from inside.
Yes.
What's going on here? Why have we stopped?
They're blasting up ahead, sir.
They're what?
Blasting, sir, for the new highway.
Oh. Well, better wait it out, I suppose.
Yes, sir. They won't be long, sir, Mr. Shocker.
The name is Schlocker, Mr. Bruno.
Oh, please, sir. Bruno. Just plain Bruno, sir.
Oh, very well, Bruno. I want to tell you I appreciate your cooperation in this matter. I wasn't expecting it, frankly.
Cooperation, sir?
Well, yes, to tell you the truth, I was fully prepared to avail myself of the services of a marshal, should it be necessary. Well, thanks to your cooperation, it isn't. I appreciate that, and I'll do my best to see that you're not forgotten.
Forgotten, sir? I don't quite understand.
Well, in the disposition of the estate, I firmly believe that so many years of faithful service should not go unrewarded, no matter how ill-advised.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Bruno, I'd like to ask a few questions, if you don't mind.
Very well, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Now, it's my understanding that for the past several years you have been the sole custodian of the 3 children of the late Titus W. Mary. Is that correct?
As you say, sir, for some many years.
And that these same 3 children have never been allowed the benefits of any sort of formal schooling.
Oh, no, sir. The master wouldn't have allowed that.
And professional medical care?
On the contrary, sir. I assure you there have been regular and frequent visits.
You mean they're not well?
Well, as well as could be expected, sir. You see, they're not ordinary children.
Well, I'm sure we can all agree to that, Bruno, but nevertheless...
You see, they're, well, you might call them retarded.
Retarded? Well, I should think so. Nearly full-grown and never a day of school.
Oh, sir, I don't think you understand, Mr. Shocker.
I'm afraid you don't understand, my dear fellow. There are properly qualified institutions for the care of the deprived, especially when there are substantial estates to be administered. Frankly, I find the whole affair rather shocking. I may add, there are proper judicial remedies for such abuses.
I don't think the master would like this.
Come on, buddy, let's get this car out of here.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
My dear Miss Hall, so nice to see you here. And the young Mr. Hall.
Hi, Flocker, how are you?
Good to see you, my boy. Petey, this is my secretary, Miss Morris.
Hi, Miss Morris. How do you do?
Hi.
Skip the rest of it, Schlager. Let's go in and take a look at the place.
Oh, yes, I've been away from the children too long already. You just follow me, and I'll show you where to park your machine. But if I may ask a favor, please, please treat the children tactfully. You see, they're not accustomed to strangers, and they might act wild if encouraged.
Now, ladies, this is your Auntie Emily and your Uncle Peter.
Elizabeth? And Virginia? Well, there's two pretty names for two such pretty young ladies. This is Miss,
Anne.
Anne. Ralph. Where's Ralph?
Ralph! Ralph!
Virginia.
Ralph! 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 Ralph!
He's all right, Emily. He's just a big kid.
Yes, it's like you say, sir. He's just a big kid.
Now, see here, Bruno. You don't seem to realize just how serious all this is. Now, these children are obviously in need of qualified professional care, wouldn't you say?
Well, there's a great deal in what you say, sir. But I gave their father a solemn oath that I'd never allow their unfortunate malady to become the object of public scrutiny.
Nonsense. The days when we hid our insane behind walls of shame went out with that old car of yours.
They're talking about us, Virginia. I know.
But, Mr. Shocker, an oath to a dying man, that can't be taken lightly.
Now, Bruno, what do you mean by malady? I mean, well, I've seen backward kids. Is it?
Well, no, it's more than a retardation. It's sort of a regression, a progressive deterioration of the mental faculties, a rotting of the brain, so to speak. It begins in late childhood and progresses rapidly, ultimately resulting in physical deformity, rather like the last stages of paresis.
Really that bad?
Yes, the Mary family, or at least this branch of them, have been afflicted for generations. And I'm sorry to say, sir, I think this is the last generation.
What a shame. Bruno, you mean all three of these?
Yes, sir. The unfortunate result of inbreeding.
Never mind that now, Bruno. We can go into all that at the proper time. I would like to know the whereabouts of certain other members of the Murray family. The, 2 sisters of Titus W. Murray and brother named, I believe, Nedrick Murray, if alive.
Alive? Well, you might say so, sir.
Come on, Bruno. Don't beat around the bush. Are they around or not?
They're talking about Uncle Ned. I know.
Well, it became necessary to put them in a more private sort of an institution.
My good man, are you saying that that the family chauffeur has been in sole charge of this entire estate and these minor children?
Oh, I never thought of it that way, sir. You see, I promised the master that...
Yeah, we know all about that. Listen, Schlocker, it's been a long trip. I'd like to get cleaned up and get off my feet for a while. We can go through this after dinner.
Dinner?
Yes, it is dinner time. Matter of fact, Bruno, we intend to spend the night.
Oh, no, sir. That's quite impossible. Why, we're not prepared for guests.
There seems to be a difference of opinion as to who is the guest and who the host here. You do have food in the house, don't you?
Why, yes, you see, our diet is very austere. I suppose we could find something. Yes, I suppose we could. Uh-huh.
I smell a bug. A big, black, juicy...
Of you, Virginia. You're doing so well.
Ralph is ready, Bruno.
Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Bring him right down.
My dear, there's no doubt in my mind that we have here an absolutely clear-cut, prima facie, open and shut case.
Great. Now, all I want to know is what is it worth in dollars and cents?
Well, that's a little difficult to tell at this juncture. Perhaps with an audit. Miss Morris, give me Schedule B.
All right here, Mr. Schlager.
Of course, this is only the visible part of the iceberg, so to speak. With more information, we can project the curve.
Hey! Hi, Ralph! Everybody, look at Ralph. He's getting all dressed up for us.
Well, yes, isn't he cute?
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served.
Well, at last. Thank you, Virginia.
That was very good, Virginia.
Can I feed Winifred now?
Winifred? Oh, no, not now. Can't she wait?
If she gets hungry, she'll go looking for something to eat.
Oh, in that case, you go right ahead. But hurry up.
I will.
Hungry, Miss Morris?
Oh, yes. I'm famished.
Shall we then?
Well, there we are. Just sit wherever you like. We're not very formal here at Murray House. We haven't had guests in a long time. No, it's been a long time. I might add that it's a great pleasure. You can sit down now, Ralph.
Winifred. Winifred. Barney, you came back. Naughty Winifred. You didn't tell me.
Virginia, we're waiting for you.
Sit in your chair, Virginia, please.
What is that?
Well, that's rabbit. Obviously. Not bad, Bruno. Looks done to a turn.
Thank you, sir. I hope you enjoy it. You know, we're very fortunate to have meat for our guests. You see, we're vegetarians.
Vegetarians?
It's dead. We don't eat dead things.
But good Lord, man, why on
The
earth?
master.
Don't say it. You made a promise.
It was no idle whim, I assure you. The master knew of the grave danger.
The danger.
Yes, Bruno, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, the master believed, and he should know, that the eating of flesh would hasten the progress of their condition.
Now, I've heard everything.
Wait a minute, Bruno. Now, you mean like that old story about the lion cub who's actually tame until he gets his first taste of fresh meat, right?
I'm afraid it's even more serious than that, sir.
Well, whatever that is, a rabbit or whatever, I pass.
Well, it looks good to me. Hey, I'll carve.
Thank you, sir. Carry on. Oh, and I must tell you all, you have Ralph here to thank for providing it.
Is that right? Good for you, Ralph.
I'll have something else.
Thank you.
What do you call these?
Ah, a rare treat. Our favorite dish. We call it souffled fungi.
What?
Mushroom schlocker.
Oh, mushrooms.
Yes, a real staple. They grow profusely on the grounds.
And, did Ralph?
Oh, no, no. Virginia provided these. You see, she has an uncanny knack for picking only the non-poisonous one.
Come on, Slocker, let's not hog this stuff. There you go.
Thank you, Uncle Peter. Thank you, Uncle Peter.
Hey, Slocker, you certainly can't say they're not polite.
Oh, Miss Howe, if you don't feel up to the heavier fare, perhaps you'd like to try some of our fresh garden greens?
Yeah, Emily. Here, try the salad.
Allow me.
This thing isn't dressed. Isn't Ralph a vegetarian too?
Oh, yes. But Ralph's allowed to eat anything that he catches.
Oh.
Emily, this is very good. You don't know what you're missing.
As I told you, our diet is very austere. But it's most healthful.
You know, that's great. I think everybody ought to eat like that.
Oh, we have our delicacies, too. But they're not in season right now.
Oh,
Oh, no, sir. You wouldn't want any of that.
Oh, no. I guess not.
Yeah.
Ah, welcome back, my little crypt kickers. Are you enjoying the movie so far? I hope so. Despite its lack of availability for the longest time, it's actually got some pretty good ratings all around. You see, in the 90s, this was actually considered to be a lost film until Jack Hill was able to find a copy of it and then began reproducing it and distributing it himself. Since there was never a copyright claim, he could do it all on his own. Of course, one of the reasons there probably is no copyright to begin with is because the producers of the movie actually went bankrupt, and then it sat on the shelf for 3.5 years before it was put into theaters. And then it actually took another 33 years before it was released in the UK. But now that the general public is able to view the film, it actually has the very rare 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if I would rate the film that high, but like I said, Lon Chaney Jr. does some damned fine acting. Overall, the cast is actually pretty great. The adults who are supposed to be degrading into younger and younger mental states do a fantastic job of acting like children. Sid Haig is kind of cute, but at the same time is very creepy. And how can you not love Carol Omart? For longtime viewers of the show, you may remember her from the RCN TV marathon episode in which I played House on Haunted Hill. She plays Vincent Price's wife, who is plotting to kill him. Spoilers. I do love that movie, though. It's one of my favorites of all time. Omart's wardrobe for this film is actually hand-picked too, by the way. Director Jack Hill accompanied her to shops in Hollywood so that she could choose sexy outfits just for filming. Omart actually had such faith and passion for this project that she actually thought it would be seriously considered for an Oscar. Sorry. Sid Haig remembers filming this fondly as well, be it for his time conversing with Lon Chaney Jr. or just for working with the cast and director. He would later go on to say that Jack Hill was one of the 3 directors that he would always be up for working with. One of the other directors he mentioned was, of course, Rob Zombie, who would help reignite Sid's career with roles in movies like House of a Thousand Corpses. A film with similar themes and plot points to this one, actually. I'm sure Sid was enjoying a bigger paycheck throughout his career as it went on, though. This film only had a budget of about $60,000, and the highest paid actor was, of course, Lon Chaney Jr., being given a flat rate of about $2,500. All of the other actors were only given about $100 a day, so at most each of them only got $1,200, which, coincidentally, is exactly how much it cost them to rent the Duesenberg, the car that Lon Chaney Jr. drives around throughout the movie. You know what, speaking of low budget, these fake spider webs that I'm working on here can be manipulated to actually look very cool for haunted houses and for decorating your own home for the season. But, you know what, I think I'm going to step it up a notch. I'm going to pull out that high-tech web shooter gun that came in the mail. I'll break that out while you guys continue on with the film.
What do you think about spending the night now, Emily?
You couldn't drag me away, Peter.
Good show, my dear. I'm with you.
Oh, it's like I told you, sir. It's absolutely...
There's nothing more to say, Bruno. Now, let's make things easy on yourself. We want to be fair.
The sisters can move in together, and you and, Ralph?
Well, we might do that. Oh, no, it's quite impossible. It's too dangerous. Hey, you see, this is an old building. The wood is rotten. You'd have to know your way about in the dark.
Nonsense. The next thing you'll tell us it's haunted.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
He means they're vampires.
Oh, yes, and werewolves.
Are you a horror film fan, Miss Morse?
Oh, yes, I love it. Dracula, Frankenstein.
And The Mummy?
Oh, the Mummy. I love the Mummy. The way he walks. Step scrape. Step scrape. Oh, and the Wolfman.
There's going to be a full moon tonight.
Mr. Schlocker, if you don't need me anymore tonight, I could just as well stay down.
There's an inn in the village.
As I see it, there are only 2 rooms anyway. Peter, if you took the car, do you think you could find lodgings for Miss Morse?
Yeah, I saw a motel coming in, yeah.
Fine, fine. Good idea. Just be sure you have her back on time, young man. Busy day ahead, you know.
Don't worry.
Thank you, Mr. Howe.
You're very welcome.
Children, some of our guests are going to stay the night. Would you come help me prepare the rooms?
Yes, Bruno.
Spider!
Oh, got it.
Hate spiders.
We have lots of spiders. Do you like spiders, Mr. Howe?
Oh, sure, Virginia. I love spiders.
Do you? Would you like to play spider with me?
Virginia.
Sure. I'll play spider with you. Maybe tomorrow?
I'm sorry, Mr. Howe, that we couldn't accommodate everyone, but I'll be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Hey, me too, Bruno.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Good night, kids. Well, Miss Morris, we should be getting an early start.
I'd like that very much, Mr. Howe.
Hey. This is the phoniest setup I've ever seen.
There is something terribly wrong here. And I intend to find out exactly what it is.
Say, it's still early, Miss Morse. Perhaps you'd like to have a drink at that inn in the village that Bruno mentioned?
I'd like that very much, Mr. Howe. Oh, and maybe a sandwich if you don't mind.
Tuck you in, Daddy. Nighty-night, Daddy.
Now, see here. This won't do. This has gone quite far enough. Ladies, beyond the bounds of prudence and good taste. I don't know what you people are up to here, but I'm going to have to call in the authorities. Now, there are laws. Criminal laws, Kill him! Kill him! No, this isn't right. There are proper procedures. Oh! Judicial remedies. These things could be litigated. Kill him!
Please don't hate me. I didn't mean to do it. She made me do it. She made me do it, Bruno. Well, he was spying on us. Well, he was going to tell. He was going to tell on us, Bruno.
Yes, Elizabeth, he was going to tell. And don't you worry, Virginia. I'm not going to hate you. I knew this was coming someday. But it's so soon.
And you really and truly don't hate me?
I promised your daddy I'd never, never hate you.
You did? You ought to hate him.
Elizabeth, I told you it isn't nice to hate. Children, I've got something I want to tell you, and I want you to listen very, very carefully. A long, long time ago, I promised your daddy that I'd take care of you and Ralph forever and ever. And then came this Mr. Schlocker, and he was a nasty, mean man. He wanted to take you away where old Bruno would never see you again. But can't do that now. But soon there'll be more Mr. Schlockers, and they'll be nastier and meaner than he was, and you won't be able to hurt all them because there'll be too many of them.
They can't take me away from you, Bruno. They can't make me go away. You won't let them, will you, Bruno?
I promised your daddy I wouldn't.
I knew you wouldn't, Bruno. I'm not afraid.
Well, we didn't have much time anyway. Pretty soon, Ralph, you'll be ready to join Uncle Ned and Aunt Clara. And then you...
We want to stay here forever and ever, Bruno. With you and Ralph and Uncle Ned.
We will. I promise. Forever and ever. We will. You know, I know where there's a nice new toy that'll do a wonderful thing.
A toy?
Yes. And you can stay up late just to see it.
Can we?
Uh-huh. Now, I have to go a little ways to get it, but it'll only take me a little while.
Please don't go away, Bruno. I'm scared.
It won't take but a few minutes. And I'll be back. Now, Elizabeth, I expect you to take care of your brother and sister and see that they don't get in any trouble. Will you do that?
Oh, I will, Bruno.
Oh, you gotta hurt.
Confounded, blasted, asinine, bloody plastic packaging. Even with my preternatural strength, these things are practically impossible to open without a pair of scissors or a large knife. Hello again, creeps. I'm just trying to get this web spinner glue gun out of its packaging so that I can start decorating. It's proving difficult and incredibly frustrating. All right, you know what? I'm just going to put this down, and I'm going to take a short break and cool off before I try to find a knife to cut this thing open. Sometimes it's good to take a break and come back when things have settled down. That's what Sid Haig did. He tried to retire from acting because he was tired of playing the same kind of character over and over again. He wanted something with a little bit more range, and he just wasn't getting it, so he retired for a while. We kind of have Quentin Tarantino and Rob Zombie to thank for bringing him back into popular consciousness and making him a successful actor again later in life. He actually has a lot of IMDb credits leading up to the 90s where he really backed off, until he was in Quentin Tarantino's film Jackie Brown in 97. And since then he's actually worked pretty steadily up until his recent death. I'm sure he'll be very popular in the other worlds. I'm considering taking a break from things myself. 338 years is a long time. Haunting houses for more than a decade and doing this TV stuff for 5 years, especially when the TV stuff you're doing is almost entirely by yourself, it can get a little stressful. Maybe it's time I take a break, and then some random eccentric director can give me another shot at showbiz. Nah. As tiring as some of this can be, I do still love it all. Oh, look. My knife. See, creeps? Sometimes you just need to take a break and look at things from a different perspective. Well, while I go and load this thing up, I'll let you go and finish off the movie.
Hey, are you really a Wolfman fan, Anne?
Oh, yes. I think that's how every man should be. Like a wild beast.
No vacancy again. That's the last one, Anne. There isn't another town for 50 miles.
I guess we shouldn't have spent all that time at the village inn.
I didn't realize how late it was getting. You lose count, they keep taking away the glasses. What was that?
I know, but I remember exactly how many.
Listen, there's nothing we can do except go back and spend the night with Emmeline Schlocker.
Got it.
Yeah. Spiders aren't supposed to eat other spiders. cannibal spiders do. Bruno! Bruno!
It doesn't sound like Bruno.
Oh, no, it's Uncle Peter and that pretty lady. They've come back.
Virginia, you mustn't hurt anyone else. Bruno will really hate you.
He will not. Anyway, I like Uncle Peter. He's not like that bad man.
All the same, they'll tell on us.
Would they? Would they tell?
Of course they'll tell. Bruno said there'd be others, didn't he?
They're coming. What'll we do?
We'll have to make a plan.
Somebody's up and about. Good.
I hope it's not that Ralph.
Oh, Ralph's just a big kid.
Do you really think so?
Sure.
Hi, kid. Hey, it looks as if Miss Morris and I are going to have to spend the night here after all. No room at the inn, as they say.
Good evening, Uncle Peter.
Uh-huh. Is Mr. Bruno about?
No, he's away. Won't you come in? Yes, do come in.
Huh? How about Aunt Emily? Is she around?
There's really no need to disturb anyone.
All righty. When does Mr. Bruno get back?
He'll be along by and by. Now, Uncle Peter, you just make yourself right at home. Virginia, dear, you may entertain Uncle Peter while I take care of the pretty lady.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm sure Elizabeth knows what to do.
Well, if you really think so.
Sure. Listen, Emily is very easy to get along with when she's asleep.
Well, that won't be necessary. And we'll have Daddy's room.
It's really very nice.
There you go. See?
Thank you, Elizabeth. You're really very kind.
Well, good night.
Yeah. See you in the morning.
Mm-hmm. It's awfully nice. This way, pretty lady.
I'm glad you came back. I like you.
I like you, too.
You're a nice lady. I liked you right away. You're not like those others. Oh, Virginia likes you, too. And Ralph, we all like you. And Uncle Peter, too. You'd never tell, no matter what Bruno says. You'd never tell. I know you wouldn't. I like you, pretty lady. Pretty lady.
and the big black spider goes round and round and wraps the bug all up in her spider web.
Virginia, what happens when the spider gets the bug all wrapped up in a web?
Aha, I won't tell.
All right. How long does it take to play this game?
Oh, we're almost done.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
There now.
Virginia? Hey, what's the spider do now?
What? Oh, yes. Now the spider does a little dance with the bug. She has to tease him, torment him, and make him work so that his juice will taste better.
Virginia, I think we better play another game.
Uncle Peter, do you like that pretty lady?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you like me?
When does Mr. Bruno come back?
Bruno won't hate me. He promised. Spiders like bugs. They taste good. But I guess bugs don't like spiders very much.
I like spiders. I like spiders.
I do too. Well, guess I have to sting you now.
You have to what?
Virginia, what about Mr. Schlocker? Mr. Schlocker? Hey, Schlocker!
Sting! Well, I have to go away for a minute. But I'll be right back. Don't go away, bug. What are we going to do with her? Ralph can't let go. What do you mean, what are we going to do with her? Don't you know you made this plan? But I didn't have enough time to finish it. She wiggles just like a big squiggly bug in a spider web. Uncle Ned could make her quiet. No, Bruno would be very mad. Anyway, Ralph likes her, see? We mustn't hurt her. Just make her quiet. Now, Spider is very clever. She very cleverly drains the vital juices from the bug's body. And that makes the bug stop squiggling. Would that make her stop squiggling? Help me find something sharp. thought they're better.
Emily? No, Emily, I'm in here. Where you been? For heaven's sake, give me a hand. That little fiend tied me up.
Ralph will be all well very soon. I brought that wonderful surprise I promised you.
Let me see. What is it?
This is a secret surprise. Yourself into this predicament, but I suggest that you leave the premises as quickly as possible.
Where's Ann? Ann, where's Ann?
If I were you, I'd hurry, sir. I'm hurrying.
Gonna do, Bruno?
Well, it's gonna make a big flash and go bang!
Oh, boy. Looky! Uncle Ned!
Yes, it was quite an amazing experience. But, for me anyway, a lot of good came of this. Being the only survivor, naturally I inherited the wealth of the Marys, which later turned out to be quite vast. More important than that, though, my wife. That's our daughter, Jessica.
Mommy, may I go outside now?
Well, all right, Jessica, dear. But be sure and come back into the house if it starts raining again.
Oh, I will, Mommy.
And so the Mary syndrome was extinguished forever with the family that carried it. My own branch of the family, being rather distant, we never suffered from the curse.
Oh, this is so cool. I had so much fun. Why didn't I buy one of these previously? Oh, there you are. Is the movie finished then? Excellent. What did you think of it? Oh, and by the way, when I ask you that question, I really do mean it. I am encouraging all of you to go to my Facebook page or my YouTube page and comment on the film, any of your thoughts. Anyway, like I said earlier, I don't think I would rate this a full 100% for Rotten Tomatoes, but it is actually pretty good, especially considering the budgetary constraints. And once again, I cannot praise Lon Chaney Jr.'s acting enough in this film. According to Sid Haig, Chaney's final speech about the toy, which actually is the explosive, brought the entire cast and crew to tears. He even got a standing ovation from everybody when the scene was done filming. And he would show up in several more films after this, although this is usually credited as one of his final roles. On the other side of the spectrum, though, is Sid Haig, who had only a few credits to his name before appearing in this movie, and then would go on to have a long and very active career. I regret that I never had the chance to meet Sid myself, but from interviews and appearances and by all reports, he seems like he was a great guy, and I have always appreciated his work. It might have been his time to go, but he will be sorely missed. You know, I'm going to have to download the theme song to this movie and add it to my Halloween playlist now. It's a lot of fun, and it reminds me of those novelty horror songs from the 50s and 60s that I liked so much. Well, while Spider Baby has developed a cult classic status over the years since it became more widely available, I do have to agree with the change of title. Didn't really seem like they were much of a cannibal, and there weren't really any orgies. And they didn't specifically eat liver, now that I think about it. Oh well, that didn't stop Jack Hill from writing a treatment for a sequel, which he titled Vampire Orgy. It was apparently going to follow Peter and his wife and daughter later on. There were even talks of a remake going around in 2007, but other than talks in order to do it, I haven't really heard anything about the development of a remake yet. There has, however, been a musical adaptation. Oh, that's becoming a recurring theme on this show, isn't it? All these old cult films seem to get musical adaptations. In fact, as we speak, a friend of mine is actually writing yet another Brain That Wouldn't Die musical. He was very annoyed when I informed him that there were already 4, but he kept at it anyway. Anyway, Spider Baby the musical appeared in 2004. It would be revived a couple of years later, and then even went on tour several times. The soundtrack has been recorded and released as well, so I should probably look for that too. I also have a friend who kind of looks an awful lot like Jill Barnes, and she's pregnant, so I should probably check on her to make sure she's not having her own little spider baby. Oh well, I think that about does it for tonight, creeps. As always, I have been your ever-so-charming host, Lord Damian MacDonovan. And, I just realized that I have an exsanguinated corpse sitting in my living room. I should probably do something with that. Ooh, maybe I'll prop him up on a chair out there on the porch or something. Never hurts to recycle, right? And I do love authentic-looking Halloween decorations. Well, thank you for joining me for another episode of Damien's Dreadfuls. You have a ghastly evening and a safe, happy Halloween. Say goodbye, Lilith.